If you focus on taking charge of your thoughts and you begin to from today determine how you think, and you start to think in ways that are edifying and positive, you will be amazed at how a lot of stress will just vanish from your marriage. Let me give you some examples of ways that negative thoughts can affect. I'll use my story as an example. Sometimes my wife will be joking around about stuff, and when she jokes about certain stuff, I find myself becoming defensive. Why do I become defensive? So, for example, I could say something like, how come this plate is broken? Why is it that this plate gets broken so easily? I thought we just bought a good one. She can say something like, well, weren't you the one that said we don't have enough money to buy better plates? Something like that. Now, she knows that I never said that. I know that I never said that. And she's joking around. I'm supposed to say something like, really? Maybe, yeah, we should start using paper plates. So that's when I say something like that, it shows that I understand that she was just joking. She knows that it's not because the plates are cheaper, or it could be, maybe she's just saying that, yeah, it's because we bought the cheap ones, but it's not a big deal, right? So there was a time when if you said, aren't you the one that said we should buy the ones that cannot break, or that are cheaper and break so easily, I will start to defend myself and say, no, when did I say that? And before you know it, it becomes a problem, in the sense that she begins to feel attacked. Right now, if that happens, I will respond so much differently, because now I don't feel the need to defend myself. So why did I used to feel the need to defend myself? Because of the thoughts, and those thoughts come from my upbringing, my path. Because when she said that, I felt that she was just trying to deflect the thing and put it on me. I genuinely believe that she thought that I said that. And why do I think that? Just because I'm so used to people, maybe in my past when I was younger, and I know, not just maybe, I knew that when I was a bit younger, I found that people can easily assume you did something that you didn't do, because we lived in a big house. And in Africa, our parents would just bring in uncles, aunties, cousins, and we'll stay there. And there's so many young people in the house, and you could easily be punished for what you never did. And so I had to defend myself, and I built a habit of doing that. And so I brought it into my marriage. And the day I got delivered from that was when she said, why are you so defensive? Why are you defending yourself? And that made a difference. I could see now that there's no need. And of course, before she said that, the Holy Spirit had been telling me, why do you need to be right all the time? Why do you need to correct people when they are wrong about you? Because sometimes you can just ignore it and allow them to have those ideas that they have that are not necessarily correct, because they did not ask for correction. And so your thoughts are what really causes more of the problem in your marriage. And you cannot correct those thoughts, because to you they are correct. When I was always defending myself and saying, no, I didn't do that, I didn't say that. Why did you say I said that? When did I say that? What was I doing when I said that? When I was doing that, I was so sure that my wife was really being serious and trying to prove that I didn't, that what I said was what she's saying. I was so sure about it. So the same with you. When you are taking actions or reacting to things, you are convinced that what the other person did is what they did. And so how do you then get out of this trap? When you're so convinced that this is what happened, how would you think otherwise? How do you think otherwise? I'm going to show you how, number one, how I began to break loose from always defending myself, and I'll use that as a point to help you change the way you think about something. The first thing is to remind yourself that you do not see everything correctly. So important that what you're perceiving is not necessarily correct. So the way I started to get myself from always defending, always trying to show that I was not wrong or I didn't do what someone said I did, was to tell myself what is going on is not always exactly what you think, which then forced me, rather than thinking right away and making judgments and taking action, to ask more questions to confirm that what I am thinking is what is really happening. If you don't take care of your thoughts, they would lead you to destruction. They will cause more harm in your marriage and more harm in your life. The way thoughts affect your marriage is that they affect your decision making. They affect your reaction to your wife. They affect the things that you can achieve. And if you want to change your thoughts, you want to start by telling yourself, what I'm seeing, what I'm perceiving is not always correct, and so I need to verify by asking more questions. Once you get used to asking a little bit more questions, then you can also say the way other people are reacting to me is not always how it seems. Most times they are preoccupied with what they are doing and they are not thinking of how it affects me. So that's the second thing. The first one is I'm not always right with the way I see things, so I get to ask more questions. And so the first one is they're not always right. Second thing, I'll get to ask more questions to verify what's going on. And the third one is what they are saying or what they're reflecting to me is not also right. And most times they are focused on themselves, focused on how they are feeling and not how I feel. Once you have this in mind, it really helps you to think differently.